Breaking news: Nigerians. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, has made shocking revelations on some certain individuals plotting to use bomb attacks to demean Tinubu's government. It seems that some persons are, trying to embarrass the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu by using these recent bombings in Goza towns in Borno State to cause to insult the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Last week, we saw multiple suicide attacks in Borno, which resulted in nearly 40 deaths. And during a courtesy visit on Monday to Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State, General Musa Christopher assured Nigerians that the perpetrators of these attacks would not succeed. They won't succeed because the armed forces and other security agencies are working tirelessly to ensure peace and security in the country. The incident in Goza highlights the persistence of those with malicious intent towards our nation, and it seems that everybody must be vigilant to make sure these attacks doesn't repeat itself again. He emphasized the recent attacks and how they were deliberate attacks and attempts to embarrass the government of Tinubu, but the perpetrators would be thwarted. He highlighted the arrest of individuals with IED equipment and stressed the importance of public cooperation in reporting suspicious activities. So, my country people, the Nigerian army are saying that this recent bombing is being targeted at President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They've urged Nigerians to report any suspicious activities promptly, as the perpetrators tend to live amongst us. And the General of Defense Staff has said that the Nigerian security forces cannot be everywhere at once, and they rely on intelligence from public. Securing Nigeria is a collective responsibility that requires cooperation from both citizens and security agencies, and they are dedicated to achieving this goal. But let's talk about the bomb attacks in Borno. So, my country people, we saw these attacks, and unfortunately, these attacks was being perpetrated by some females who were forced to do this. I mean, the story is not really clear if they were forced to do it or if they were persuaded to do it, But with the story on ground, they were actually forced to, go ahead with those things. They were called suicide bombers. And it seems that they have now, their numbers are growing in Borno. Their numbers are growing. And this has led to the death of so many people. Unfortunately, this suicide bombing was carried out by females in the states. When Kashim Shettima had visited those people that were wounded in Maiduguri that very day, after the day that bombing happened, I mean, we saw how everything went. Although the president, Bola Tinubu, had condemned the attacks, calling them desperate acts of terror. Because what do they stand to gain? By going out and bombing innocent persons, what do they really stand to gain? But the president, in his right frame of mind, condemned those persons, saying that those attacks, was just to undermine his government. And a lot of people sustained injuries because of these bombing attacks, and which led to a curfew imposed by the military in the states. And we've been seeing so many attacks in Borno State. I mean, this is not the first time we are seeing attacks like this. For several months, a lot of people have been attacked. Some certain people have been targeted through this, by these suicide bombers, explosion here and there. And in fact, Borno State is more like the center of all insurgency attacks. You get to see the Boko Haram militants, you get to see the SIRAP militants, ISWAP militants, and other militants. And at this point, Borno is more like a home of insurgency. A home of insurgency in Nigeria, where you get to see jihadist group parading themselves, causing mayhem in Borno State. Borno State is in fact, is one of the most unsecure states in Nigeria, where insecurity has ravaged, the states. And this, in fact, history keeps on repeating itself over and over and over again. And I'm sure this last Borno attacks will not be the last, as they will still perpetrate another one. But we are not praying for evil to happen, no. But it seems that they will wait when everywhere is calm. They will go to another location and perpetrate evil, because it was said that where this bombing took place was a location whereby citizens were gathered. Those that were returning from wedding celebration, they were gathered. That was when this thing happened in Goza. That was when it happened. So many persons were injured. Unfortunately, it was being perpetrated by female bombers who were forced to carry out these acts. And a lot of people were killed in the process. The question on our minds would be, when will all this thing end? Guys, we don't know when it will end, though. We don't know, because even the Nigerian army is saying that they cannot be everywhere at a time. That is true. But in Nigeria, when people are in distress, when the citizens are in distress and they call the security agencies, they don't arrive there on time. They don't arrive there on time. Maybe they will get there 5 hours after everything is being conducted, after the evils is being perpetrated. That is when they will arrive. They are never there on time. And this is unfortunate that this bombing has claimed the life of so many people. In fact, the only thing the president can do is to condemn. And no effort are being made to see that this thing doesn't repeat itself again. And then if another incident like this happens, they will still condemn. So Borno State and these insurgency attacks is 5 and 6. A lot of families have lost their loved ones because of all these things. Even the United States mission in Nigeria had condemned the suicide bomb attacks that took place in Goza, in Borno State. This is a heartless act. This is very cruel. To impose this kind of pain on your fellow human being because of what? What do you seek to gain? But then I really hope that the Nigerian military, the army, would do something about this so that history doesn't repeat itself again. We should stop with the phase of condemning and trying to put blames on these attacks on some certain persons. Let the security agencies work towards ensuring that history doesn't repeat itself again. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section.